Hello YouTube, today at powerjackrepair.org we got a Lenovo Legion 5 15IMH05H. This is the most common connector to break on the Lenovo laptops and one of the most common problems for Lenovo Legion. This is right here, as you can see, the pins are broken. This is how it should look like right here. The pins are nice and straight. That means once we replace the connector, everything should be working fine. Let me show you how to replace this connector. First of all, you have to insulate the area right here around the connector so that the nearby components won't fall off the motherboard. Then you add some solder and plug. Alrighty, so we insulated the area with the high temperature tape. It's a 3M tape that can withstand 600 degrees Fahrenheit. 600 Fahrenheit, yeah. So what we're gonna do next, we're gonna add some flux, add some new solder, add some hot air, and this guy gonna pop right out. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add some flux to the legs. The flux will allow the solder to penetrate a lot better into the leaded base solder to penetrate a lot better into the connections there. We are preheating the connection, adding more solder to the legs on the motherboard. To the front and rear. Mostly it's the rear ones that needs to come out. The front's gonna come out just fine. Alright. Looks good. Looks good. I like that. Alright. Let's flip this guy over. And add the... Oops, where you go? Alright. And add the solder to the rear. Alright. Like that. Like that. Alrighty. So the goal now is to take this guy out from the motherboard. And the way to do that is we just increase the airflow, the temperature. We don't really increase the airflow. The airflow is pretty much stays at 50. All right. Again, we don't really press on the connector in any way, shape, or form. We want the whole connector to come apart by itself. And the only way it's gonna come apart by itself is under enough of hot air temperature and Alright. Alright, good thing is what we can do next is we're gonna flip this guy right here. Alright, so what we do is we warming up the whole thing. Alright, so we're gonna move the temperature source closer to the connector. Alright. Usually it comes out a lot simpler because I don't have to make a video. But here, like that, like that, and like that. All right, good job. Now, once the connector is out, we move the connector out of the way. We bring over the desoldering quick. And the desoldering quick gonna desolder the connection here. All right, I already dropped the temperature down a little bit, so the desoldering doesn't take as good of a process as I was hoping for. So let's do a little bit more time here. All right, so what I want to do is I want to add some more solder. Okay. And attack the problem again. need more airflow. All right. Alrighty. Alrighty. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna add more plugs here on the bottom. And the board is nice and hot, so the flux doesn't want to stick to it. So we can melt it. Alright. So once we have flux on the bottom, we position the board over there. And now we're just gonna be sucking out not the best solution, but it's okay. Alright, so those are grounds. And as you can see, the grounds don't wanna get desoldered easily. So what we're gonna do is this. Alright, let's add a little bit more flux here and here. Alrighty. Now we're gonna bring more hot air. Alright. Solder the new solder in place a little bit more. And now let's desolder that solder the best we can from that solution. Alrighty. Alright, so let's inspect the holes under the microscope. This one is relatively clean, assuming the new one gonna go in there just fine. This one is clean. This one is somewhat clean. We will see if the new leg not gonna fit in there. This one has some remains of the solder in there. This one is clean, and this one Alright, so the positives are clean. The negatives might still need more work to do. So let's feed the new connector and see if it's gonna go in there perfectly. Yeah, it goes in perfectly. Every single leg fits in just fine. Yeah. Yep. And it's sitting nice and straight. Alrighty, so the new connector was fitted in perfectly, so we're gonna add a whole bunch of plugs right here so that the connection would be nice and solid. We wanna put this guy right there, the new connector in place, and let's solder the new connector in place like that, and on this side as well. Good job. Alrighty, and then we're gonna do the rear positive pins. And the rear positive pins require a lot more heat, so you want to keep the iron there for slightly longer. And here we got the solder right here, solder right there, and solder right here. Good job. Like that. And what we want to do next is we're gonna solder the whole thing on the bottom as well. Let's see, we can position something like that. All right. Alrighty. Yeah, and spend a little bit more time on the grounds because those don't get soldered really well. All right, so here's the final solution. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you want to clean up this whole thing. All right. All right, once cleaned, you want to flip it over and clean the other side. Alrighty. All right, and let's inspect the motherboard under the microscope. Alrighty, so here we see is that we need more cleaning. All right, so let's do more cleaning. All right. Alrighty. Okay. All right, good job. Let's run a brush on it. Alrighty. Excellent. You don't want to rub too hard because nearby components might come apart. All right, so on this side I like everything. Let's do in 3D view. All right, a little bit here on the front left is where we need to add a little bit more solder. Right here, as you can see, there is still cavity remaining there. Let's see. We want to agitate a little bit this guy a little bit more. This guy is fine. So yeah, the one right there. And let's flip this guy over and see if yeah, the grounds needs to be agitated a bit more. As you can see right here, even though the pins are soldered, you see, it needs a lot more heat right there, a lot more heat right there, and a lot more heat right there. All right, so that means more flux right here, right there, and I believe right there. So no big deal, we can clean one more time, it's not a problem. So what I want to do is I want to agitate this guy a bit more. Right. I could do the same thing here, no big deal. All right. And then we need to do the rear pins really, really well. All right. All right, good job. Let's do this guy as well. Okay. I think that should be sufficient. Alrighty. Let's clean this guy up. Oh. Alrighty, a lot more cleaning. And let's inspect in the 3D view one more time, because you can't really see with the naked eye if everything is ideal there. I don't want this laptop to come here ever again. And by the way, the videos on how to take the laptop apart should be found on our channel. We got 1,000+ videos of different laptops, makes and models. All right, one place is still here that needs to be soldered. All right, looks good to me. Let's clean up those flying solder that was flying all over the place. This guy here. Looks good. All right, so let's take a look at the 3D view. Like that. And what's that right here? A stuck piece of solder. What is it doing there? It shouldn't be there. You see, this is why a 3D camera is really useful here. Alrighty, so seems like everything is relatively well soldered. The other side seems to be okay too. Nothing else is stuck anywhere, right? Well, I wanna do a little bit more straightening here. Okay, like that. Alrighty, so once we got the jack installed, we wanna test the positives. The ground, the ground is right here and right here. That's the middle, the handshake signal, and the positives are doing good. All right, so it seems like this thing gonna work. Let me put it assembled back together and show you how it's gonna work. Alrighty, and if you take a look right here, the indicator shows that the battery is charging right there, and the laptop powers up and works. Alright, again at powerjackrepair.org. This is what we do all day, every day. Now, the biggest complaint with this laptop, basically, once the laptop goes back to the client, they pretty much complain all the time that it breaks in about a month or so. The reason why the jack gonna break in a month or so, because the tips of the cords are faulty. As you can see right there, there's a plastic right there on the inside that's broken. It's running off of my power supply right now. So as long as it's running off of my power supply, I know that the system is working. But again, the clients complain all the time, why did the jack break again? Or why it doesn't work? It doesn't work because the tips are bent right here. Or, oops, I don't want to show the client's information. So you see those chips right here? This thing right here. No, let me switch the camera to something different. All right. Is it going to be showing something here? Yeah. All right. So this chip right here. Maybe it's even better to remove it altogether from there. All right, because obviously I know what the client gonna do. They're gonna get it back and they're just gonna plug it right in because they think, what's the big deal, right? So probably I need to do something about it because this is what's gonna break the connector in no time. Again, I haven't tested the system with this power supply because again, my concern is the connector. So you see how this thing just goes back and forth. So yeah, I'm not trying to break the connector. I'm just trying to get all the sharp edges out of here so that they won't be breaking the piece on the inside of the laptop, the one I just installed, because it's this is the number one client, the number one concern, so to speak, I get from the clients is, oh, the laptop broke in no time. The connector broke in no time. It's okay. So right now it seems like this is gonna be relatively okay because that crooked piece right here, I kind of shaved it off a little bit. I still not gonna plug it into this laptop because I want the client to get a brand new experience. If they want to plug this guy in, they could, but quite honestly, another problem is if you look inside, you see a lot of darkness right here, and those two pins right here gets oxidated. There is a metal part right here and a metal part right there on this side, right here. And those metal parts, they do get oxidated and they no longer grab onto the new connector. They might work for a week or two, but because they are oxidated, they're not going to conduct the electricity quite well. That's another reason why this connector breaks. The number one reason why this computer breaks is this. This connector is located on the back, and if you lift the front of the laptop, all the leverage from here, it's gonna go onto this jack, and the jack gonna break, and that's the reason why it breaks. And here you can see cracks in the casing. Here someplace, right there. And that's because the casing has been moved up and down like that. And that's the reason we are still in business. Alright guys, so thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like. If you want you want us to work on it, send it over. We're gonna fix it up. Again, the laptop works. And thank you and have a good day. Thanks.